Not too long ago, I made a video called Lego Room Update Crushing My Backlog. Well, guess what? Today is another day of Lego Room Update Crushing My Backlog because I've got a whole bunch of Lego sets that need to be built. So today in this video, I'm going to build as many of those as I possibly can, and we're going to place them on the shelves here in the Lego room. However, the shelves are getting pretty full. So how am I going to do that? I have no idea. I also want to clean up this entire area right here because there is stuff everywhere and it just doesn't look very good. So I've got to clean this up and try and build a whole bunch of stuff that's in this pile. Also, midway through the day, I decided that I'm going to take on a different project as well, and it involves a big colorful beam of Lego on the right side of the Lego city there. So this beam of Lego is actually covering up a telebeam that supports the ceiling in the basement. It is essential. It has to be there. Well, the beam has to be there, but the Lego around it doesn't have to be there. So I've had an overwhelming amount of comments telling me that I should turn that into a skyscraper. So I've decided that today in this video, we're going to start that process as well. So what is the colorful beam of Lego? Well, it's a colorful beam of Lego, and on the beam of Lego is the names of all of my original members here on YouTube. Some of them are printed labels, and then some of them are actually handwritten with Sharpie like bricks, like name bricks. And a lot of those were actually sent to me in fan mail, and I actually put them onto this pillar. It is an old membership perk that I no longer do just because it was so hard to keep on top of. It was nearly impossible. So I decided to discontinue that perk, but all of these names are still on display here in the Lego room, and we're actually going to keep them on display. I've come up with a new system that's going to allow me to integrate new name bricks and also keep all of the existing ones. So later on in this Lego room update, I'm actually going to start that project as well. All of the bricks are going to be removed, and I'm going to discuss the new direction that we'll be heading. Some of the sets presented in this video were provided by the super cool Lego company. Thank you. Okay, I've actually broken the pile down into two separate piles. The pile on the left has yet to be opened. So I'm not going to open that stuff today because that seems like a lot of stuff that has to be built. We've got the Captain America shield, the amazing Spider-Man art, the remainder of Gringotts Bank. It's already 3/4 built, and also the Hogwarts Castle and Grounds. Woo! That's actually a pretty big day of building, though. I'm going to let you in on a little bit of a Lego room secret here. I guess it's not much of a secret if I tell you, right? But there's going to be some changes that are going to be happening in the Lego room, specifically to the diorama table, and also potentially to the center right here. I'm still working out the numbers. Got my tape measure out, doing some stuff, but there's going to be pretty big change happening in this region of the room, I'm pretty sure. Not today, but in the future. And that's going to allow us to display more awesome Lego. Yeah, so Gringotts, for the most part, is already built up here on the kitchen table. We're about to start bag number 28 of 31. But I've been looking at this for too long. The first one that's got to get dealt with is the Captain America shield. So this has 3,128 pieces, and look how thin the instruction manual is. You know what that means. There's going to be a bunch of repetition in here. So we got a little bit of a write-up in the first few pages of the instruction manual. And then we're going to start creating the actual structure of it. It's going to use like a bunch of plate, those hinge bricks, and just a whole bunch of stuff. Included in that is the modified 1x4 like rounded plates. And I guess we're gonna have a look at this in a moment anyway, and we'll sort of take some clips as I build the structure of this thing. It is going to be very repetitious. Holy cow. So done bags 1 through 7. Check this thing out. Like, it's crazy. You look at the box art and you don't see this. It's nuts. Just like the circular shape of it with all of those hinge plates and hinge bricks, and then some Technic axles going through the center there, and also these wedge plates on their side. They're like on the modified brackets, and that's what's going to help give it its convex shape. This thing is like super heavy though. When you see Captain America shield, do you think of something like that? No, not really. You think of something like this. This is the one done by Bricker Builds, but it is all plate built, whereas the Lego one surprisingly enough, is mostly plate built as well, but it's got a whole bunch of different modified pieces. And actually, there's a surprising lack of Technic. You'd think there'd be more Technic involved, but there's just the axle pieces running through the center there. Just a really neat structure. The next thing we need to do is start plating it off using these blue wedge plates. 36 panels later, so there's 18 of this variety and 18 of this variety. And now those have to be installed on the foundation of the shield. And all of the different panels on each of these sections can hinge because they use the modified plates with the clips or the bars, and that's how it gets its convex shape. Here it is with all of those panels installed. Oh my gosh, this thing is actually crazy. Like, check out all the bracket work in the center there. It's intense. So the last thing we're missing is the star, but like, just look at it, like the curvature of the shield and like how all of these plates, like the wedge plates and regular plates, sort of line up as they make their way around the entire shield in this circular shape. It's actually crazy. And then the backside, like, it's just nuts. Like all the system elements that were used to create this circular shape. It's actually intense. It's very heavy too. Like, it is heavy and very sturdy. Like, it's like a brick. It's actually crazy. The last thing that needs to be built and installed is the white star that goes in the center. And here it is. Check out that build with the shield tile. Also these like rubberized, like spike elements almost. Very cool. And then all of the different connectors that were used in the interior. Also some more of those white hinges, like white hinge plates. And that is just going to connect to the two open studs in the center there from those brackets. And then you cap it off with a 3x3 circular tile. And that caps off the Captain America shield. One thing that I don't see, and I'm sort of disappointed about, is a hanging system. So there's not really a way to hang this shield. So you have to find a spot for it on your display, unless of course you come up with a way to hang it yourself. Luckily for us, it comes with a display stand, and on that display stand you can see the Captain America figure that the set comes with. Here's a closer look at that Captain America figure. He also comes with Thor's hammer. That's like that chin strap face detailing. He also comes with the alternate face that can be displayed with his hairpiece. And also the 4x6 modified plate with the print detailing. And this is the stand. Pretty cool build. Obviously going to provide a solid base for the Captain America shield. It's got a tiled off section there that's topped with the curved slopes. And then all sorts of Technic elements on the base of it. It provides a real nice sturdy stand. Check it out. It just rests on there perfectly at like this slight angle. And it just chills. It doesn't like attach in any way. It's just sort of stuck in the groove at that slight angle. So it's not like it's adapted to any sort of studs on the back or anything. Now, one thing I will say is that this is not really wieldable. There's not really a strap so that you can actually, you know, like walk around with it like your Captain America. Nor is there the hook on the back so you can't hang it. So there's no hanging kit or no like cosplay kit, I guess I'll call it, so that you can actually pretend that you're Captain America. You know what I mean? But it is pretty cool. Like, it is a marvel when it comes to building. Like, the style of it is just intense. Like, it's crazy. The one that I have over there in the Marvel section is just like all plate built. Whereas this one actually uses a whole bunch of different elements. Well, a lot of the same elements, but to create this crazy circular shape. Like, it's actually nuts. The build of it was really repetitive, but the end result is like super satisfying. I think it looks pretty clean and it's going to display really well. So what do you think looked better, the big tower of colorful bricks or just the white telebeam? I think the white telebeam is less distracting. Granted, the big tower of colorful bricks was very cool and very Lego-like. But I think when we build a skyscraper around that tower, it's going to look even better. And the first thing that has to happen is the foundation has to be created for this skyscraper. This is where the trouble lies, because this train track comes very close to this pillar. So the foundation of the skyscraper has to do the same, because I am not rerouting the ground line train track because that is just not an option. I don't want to move the ground line train track because it have to be like rerouted, and then it would be significantly reduced in size. So I'm not doing that just to accommodate one skyscraper that's going to go around the base of this pillar. Either way, or around the pillar in general. Either way, the base of the pillar has to be redone. All of this landscaping has to be removed. All of this green plate has to be removed because you're not going to build a skyscraper on grass. And I think it probably has to be changed to light gray. Also, some of these bricks have to be extended closer to the pillar so we have a stronger foundation for a taller skyscraper-like structure. So here's all the bricks. We've got a giant drawer full of 2x4 bricks, and then a giant bin full of the labeled 2x4 bricks. And then all of the ones with like felt pen names, ones that were sent to me in fan mail. In fact, all of these weren't even in that pillar, and a bunch of these other ones weren't in the pillar as well. But it's good that they're separated, so now when we rebuild the side panel, which is actually going to go right here, right behind Santa Claus, we'll be able to build it strategically to display all of those names. And it's going to go all the way up the side of this cabinet. You can see it's already started right down there. So behind Santa Claus is already done. There's a lot more that has to be built, that's for sure. You can see how many studs wide it is. So it looks like it's all 4x brick, like 2x4, and then there's one 2x3 to offset it on either side and just to match the size of the billy cabinet. And then when I get around to building that, I'm going to build it in panels and actually command strip it to the side of this. But I want to build it in panels so that sections of it can be or could be removed so that I can add more name bricks if more people send me their name bricks to be part of this pillar, or sorry, the side panel. The issue with the pillar was the fact that it couldn't really be changed easily because there's a solid pillar of bricks. So how was I supposed to add all of these name bricks to the pillar when it was already fully constructed? If I make the new side panel of this billy cabinet out of bricks somewhat deconstructible, then I'll be able to add more name bricks as they arrive, which is pretty cool. So here's the concrete foundation for the skyscraper, which we're actually going to start to construct later on in this video. So just switch it up to light gray, makes a lot more sense than green. And once again, extended some of those bricks out toward the pillar, so the plate on top just goes closer to the pillar. And then also put a 1x16 Technic brick there, extending from plate to plate. So now that's solid. We're going to be able to build way up from there. All right, I'm going to build the amazing Spider-Man art upstairs at the kitchen table. Here's all the pieces. Looks like this one here is built on your standard 16x16 plates. So they're not the like Technic 16x16 plates. I love the front cover. Just the basic Spidey. Very cool. Oh, that's neat. Look at the interior. All the Spider-Man comics, and there's Amazing Fantasy right there. And let's see what the build is like here. Looks like we're going to start with the frame and then progress towards Spider-Man. That is just so different than your standard art. That is cool. So this is built differently than your average art set because you don't build it like piece by piece. The other ones you build 16x16 plates and then you attach them all in the end, whereas this one you just build the entire thing. Because it's large, I decided to switch from the regular instruction manual to a tablet with the PDF instructions just because it takes up less space. And I should probably grab a tablecloth because this really isn't working. And I think Jose would be pretty upset if I scratched her table. It actually is similar to other art sets in the sense that you build 16x16 plates and then you attach them to the frame. So that's the top 3. And there they are attached. So now I've just got to build 9 more of those. I was actually wrong. You don't fill the entire frame with the 16x16 panels. You do 10 rather than 12 because, of course, this is where Spider-Man is. I'm about to start bag number 7. But that's what all the 16x16 panels look like when they're placed in the frame. Hey, look, it's Spider-Man! Chuck it out. In the next bag, it's bag number 8. We're using this amazing print piece. Like, how cool is that? So there's only one more bag to go. Just finished building the shoulders, which I think is the thing that a lot of people aren't a huge fan of, just the way that his shoulders sort of pop off. I can't truly visualize it until we finish it because, I mean, he's missing a head. Okay, so I'm still going to come up with some sort of skyscraper design for the skyscraper that's going to go around that beam. But first, take a look at these 3 Lego sets. How cool is that? Oh yeah, Captain America's shield. Honestly, the more I look at it, it's just so clean. It's going to look fantastic on the shelf there with all of the other Marvel sets. I'm going to have to move that Bricker Builds one, I think, because this is just so, once again, clean. I'm just like mesmerized by it. It's so neat. Look at all that building. Whew, that's right, Gringotts is done. While I was taking care of other stuff, such as the Spider-Man art, Jose took care of Gringotts. So she finished it off. Holy cow, look how tall it is. It is absolutely massive. My gosh. And then we have the Amazing Spider-Man. Honestly, no word of a lie, it's my favorite art set. Maybe that's because it's my first 3D art set that I've built. Like, I didn't build the Rolling Stones one, and I also didn't build the Great Wave. But this thing is just so cool. Okay, I guess I will agree with some people that the shoulders look a bit off. They look a bit strange, but I think that's what gives it its sort of 3D look. And also his head does pop off quite a bit, but it's designed to be looked at from this perspective. And his head can actually move a little bit. So you can change the direction that he's looking. Super cool eyes and print pieces on his head, and just all of the plate work to get this crazy shape was just, I don't know, just so cool. This is just like such a neat art set. I really like the 3D style of it. I'm sort of over the stud art, especially after building this. I don't think I'll ever do another stud art, to be honest with you, unless they release some epic new stud art sets, but maybe they're sort of getting away from that. Look at his hands too. I know they look sort of strange right now, like, whoa, that looks like you'd break your fingers doing that. That's because they wrap around the frame, and you can't have them wrapped around the frame when he's on the table like this. But you can see his right hand is wrapped around the frame. So cool how the fingers articulate off the hand, and they're attached to his arms, right? Then you got his shoulders and head, and his other arm coming this way. And then the Spider-Man logo on the back, like on his back, and then also the legs. And then the background just looks super cool with like the dark green, and then the green transitions, gets a little bit lighter as it moves toward the center and sort of finishes off with like the lime and then whatever color of green that is. And also the spider web, you can see like all the spider webs are sort of going toward the center, and those are created using some really nice like rubberized elements. I think it's like a rubber, what is that, hose? Can't quite remember. Then also some bars, and then some of those new like Christmas light elements, that's what I'm gonna call them, but they used to be like string, and now they're like actually rubberized. So a really detailed web that's in the background, and it just adds like a nice pop of like white color behind Spider-Man. Once again, beautiful printed piece, framed really well with the black tile, and then we've got spiders all over it, and the frame is actually pretty thick, and it's got a really nice finish with the white border and then the interior black border. Man, that is such a nice piece of art. I definitely got to hang it on my art wall. It's like when you're walking into the Lego room, I've got all the stud art displayed. I definitely got to hang that. And then I'm probably going to put this on the shelf, probably replace that other Captain America shield, and maybe hang the other Captain America shield. I'm really not too sure because I'm running out of space on that shelf. Am I going to review the Gringotts Bank? No, I am not. Not today. That needs its own video because honestly, this set is just crazy. And it comes with so many minifigures, hidden little Easter eggs, interior details, the vault. Plus there's the vault promo, which I haven't even built yet, and that's like an extension of the vault. And all the minifigures are in here. There's just so much to cover because I've got to compare it with like Diagon Alley and sort of put them together and then figure out where I'm going to put this set.
and what I'm going to do with Diagon Alley. So there's a lot to cover with this set, so I'm not going to do a detailed review today just because, holy cow, this video would become very long, and we've still got to build some sort of floor for a skyscraper. So at the beginning of this video, I mentioned that we're going to be placing sets. Where am I going to place them? I don't know. I've got to do some hanging, and I don't know if I have it in me today to hang art. I've got to hang Elvis here, and also I've got Batman and Vader up top there that I need to hang. Vader will probably just go back here, and then Elvis would probably go on this wall and Batman on that wall, but I also have Harley and the Joker up there. So I might have to have a really good plan of what I'm going to do before I hang that Spider-Man art and also those other 3 humongous art pieces. And that would be it, I guess, because I guess I'd have to deal with that Gringotts too. I don't know where that Gringotts is going to go. I got to give that some thought as well. They're massive sets. I did mention near the beginning of this video that I do have a plan for this area of the Lego room, and I just packed away those tables, and I just wanted to let you know that I continued to think about that plan today, and I'm like 90% sure that it's actually going to happen. And let's just say that it is going to vastly increase the amount of display space for massive sets in this Lego room, because we all have seen the new Venator that's coming out. So I need somewhere to place this massive Venator. Where that's going to be, I don't know. I've got to come up with a solution. Also, I want to build a Christmas village, or a winter village, and I want to build a Diagon Alley, and I want to do a bunch of stuff. So I need to either expand or move. And at this point in time, I have to just live within my means and expand. But eventually, the move option will become a reality. So let's build a little skyscraper floor for the beam. Okay, so I've done some calculating of the size here. I think it was 16 studs by 14 studs. And I came up with a little floor design. Granted, things might change based on part availability and stuff like that. But this is what I've come up with so far. So this is a large patio that will go around. And then there's a door right here that goes onto said patio. That door is in set 1 stud compared to the windows. The windows and doors have dark gray window frames, and actually put them in the inside. And you'll notice that I'm using these weird trans blue ones with like the white like line stickers on them. Those came from police stations. For some reason, I have a bunch of those. I also have some other trans blue window glass, but not enough to build a whole bunch of floors. And the key is try to use parts that you have in your inventory when you have an inventory as big as mine. So I'm trying to do that, and I came up with this design. The handrails, or like the railings on the balcony, are pretty cool. It uses these window elements that I actually found on the pab wall. And I side mounted them on a snot brick. And then I put a 1x1 circular brick, sorry, a 1x1 brick with the circle hole in it, so it clips in on that side. And this balcony wraps around the entire, like, apartment, I'm going to call it. And then we've got more of the trans blue windows here. Those ones are all in set 1 stud. Also a nougat accent color. I thought that was just a nice way to add a pop of color. And then the dark gray windows here, and you can see I tried to copy the other side. Actually, it's the opposite of it. This one comes out 1 stud, and these ones are inset 1 stud, and then this side matches the other side. It's all capped off with some 2x light gray plate, and also the nougat pillars capped off there as well. One thing you have to keep in mind is that there's going to be a beam running through the center, so I'm not going to be able to make like an interior for this build, because there's going to be a beam running through the center, and also all of the plate on the exterior, similar to the balcony, is going to be light gray, so this dark gray plate will be gone. So the interior colors, like the windows and the railing for the balcony is dark gray. But then all of the, I'm going to call them encasing colors, like things that are the beams beside the windows and also the toppers for the floors, are going to be in light gray. So the primary colors are light gray and dark gray. And there's a nougat accent color along with the trans blue window glass. And that is going to sit, I can't really place it very well, can I? It's going to sit like that, and there'll be multiple floors going all the way up. Not all the way up, but to a decent height, I would imagine. But the ground floor is going to have to be completely different because of the train track. And I also want to put some sort of train station right there, so anyone living in this apartment building has access to a train station, because the train track for the elevated train line is right there. So the trick is going to be coming up with the ground floor and also the train station. Replicating this should be fairly straightforward, and it's not going to be modular in the sense that these are going to be able to come apart, because once again, there's no interior details, so it's not going to matter anyway. And I think this design might look pretty cool. I didn't want to use trans clear windows because there's a white beam running through the center of it. Yeah, so that's sort of weird. Now, one thing that I will do, though, is put a bunch of minifigures on here, and that will be the pop of color. I haven't quite decided yet, but I'm just thinking out loud here. I removed all of the name bricks from over here, and the plan is to put them over there on the side of that Billy cabinet. A lot of the people that sent me their handwritten name bricks also sent me sig figs, and those sig figs are currently in the mansion. And this mansion, unfortunately, is not going to be able to be here forever. Eventually, it's going to be transitioned into something different, and the entire mansion is going to be put underneath the table alongside the winter village where I store dioramas, right? So my thought is maybe I can take all of those sig figs rather than storing them under there, and I can put them on the balconies that are on this pillar. So then you can have a whole bunch of minifigures on the balconies on this skyscraper that's sort of in the landscape of the Lego city. So there we go, everybody. That is my plans and ideas for the pillar, and also 3 new sets built here in the Lego room. I hope you enjoyed this Lego room update. I'm going to work on my expansion over there and work on placing these, and also film a review on this set and take care of a whole bunch of other stuff in the Lego city, because we have a never-ending amount of work happening down here, which is pretty awesome because I never run out of ideas, and my days are all different. That's for sure. There's always something to do, and it's pretty cool. It all involves Lego, which is a real treat. So thank you so much for coming on by. Please remember to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for some more great stuff. And farewell. Thanks for hanging around.